Today is the first day of Teacher Appreciation Week, where we acknowledge our teachers and the daily hurdles they face, not only from our kids, but these days, the ongoing culture war that's taking place in our classrooms across the country. Things like LGBTQ issues, critical race theory, teaching American history, all kinds of things dominating our politics right now, landing also in the classroom and causing some conflict and controversy there. As you can see, Time has been writing about extremists are using lies to undermine America's public schools. So let's bring in the head of the American Federation of Teachers, who's speaking out on issues, writing that op-ed in Time with that headline, Extremists Using Lies to Undermine America's Public Schools. We need to take a stand. Randi Weingarten is with us once again. Randi, thank you very much for being with us. And
thank you.
let me just ask you about that. So the AFT, the American Federation of Teachers, putting ads in 16 major newspapers. You've written this article in Time magazine, which I recommend, states your position quite clearly. What's the main message you want to get across in this moment?
So first, two things. One, I wrote that article I wrote that opinion piece with Jonah Edelman, who's the head of Stand for Children, a long-time parents group, and I, the head of a long-time teacher group, getting together and saying, this has been our observations, and we need people of conscience to stand up. And why? Because the most important thing I can say is that after 2 years of a pandemic, after all of what kids have been through, after all of the other issues, all of the crises, all of the anxiety, teachers want to teach. We need to meet the needs of kids. And so all of these culture wars are just making what would already have been the hardest year ever even harder, because it's creating more and more anxiety. It is what the New York Times basically said about Fox this weekend and about Tucker Carlson. There is a political strategy that says, let's create more and more fear. Let's keep the chaos going. Let's keep the confusion going. Let's keep people on edge. But teachers want a welcoming and safe environment for kids, and we're trying to meet the needs of kids, regardless of anybody's ideology.
And parents certainly want that. And I wonder if I can ask you from the perspective of some parents. They are concerned that teaching has changed, that some of the teaching of the gender issues and things like that have changed for younger ones in particular. How do you answer a parent who says, you know, I'd like that to be a conversation between parents and kids rather than in the classroom, especially for the youngest ones? What do you say to that?
So look, you know, and I say this as a teacher who, you know, for a very long time, I hid my identity as being a gay person because, you know, I thought it was really, 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 really important for, you know, kids to be able to trust their teachers and parents to be able to trust their teachers. And what we see is that in the building of the relationships, you have to be your authentic self, and you have to be able to lift up kids' lived experiences. And so the real issue now is, how do we help all kids lift up their lived experiences, and how do we help teachers do that and create those relationships with kids? We have to work with parents. It is absolutely indispensable for us to work with parents, because that's the only way that you create trust. And ultimately what has happened, whether it is about teaching honest history or whether it is about embracing those who are different, we have to do all this in an age-appropriate way, working with parents, but we have to embrace everyone. We have to create the freedom to be, the freedom to learn. And that's what teachers try to do all the time. I think it's better to have, and I'm started as a social studies teacher, high school social studies teacher. It's a lot better to have a conversation about slavery and about racism in the tutelage of a teacher, as opposed to learning about it on social media or in the streets. And that's part of what we need to do.
All right, and do it together. I love that, Randi, that this antagonism that's developed between teachers and parents, that's not good for anybody. It's not good for the kids, for sure. So doing it together and not getting maybe governors and politics involved in it. But we'll see. We all hope for the best, and hope for the best for our teachers in Teacher Appreciation Week. Randi Weingarten, high school social science teacher, president of the American Federation of Teachers, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.